All right, guys. In our last session, you guys faced a brutal battle against the Wood Elves, determined to rescue Lyla, and with the threats made by Fairy, Raarh burst into a rage and into battle. Celestia's quick reflexes and healing magic were crucial, keeping everyone on their feet. She blinked in and out of the battlefield, casting healing spells strategically. Saxi, with his sharpshooting skills, took down elves one by one with deadly precision. His final shots were spectacular, leaving a trail of destruction. Tronald polymorphed into a giant ape, roaring mightily and ripping a tree from the ground. He hurled it with devastating force at the hippogriff, sending it crashing down and scattering the elves. The turning point came with Raarh's ferocious assault. Despite searing flames, he charged with unyielding fury. His greatsword, glowing with divine energy, cleaved through the elves with brutal efficiency. Raarh's confrontation with Fairy was the climax. His blade struck true, slicing through Fairy with such force that blood and viscera exploded outward. The once formidable leader of the Wood Elves fell before his might.
How are we all? We all feeling good? Because I feel fantastic.
Yeah, I'm all right. It got far too dicey at times for my liking, but we're all still here. How are you feeling, Saxi? You got dropped more times than me.
Honestly, I'm pissed off. We jumped into fighting them without thinking it through. Not only did we nearly die, every single one of us permanently, but we just threw away a powerful ally. Now there's no chance they'll side with us if we need them. Hell, they're probably going to make it their mission to kill us all. And let's not forget about staying in this forest now. We've thoroughly screwed that plan. We had a chance to avoid all this, to negotiate, to find a peaceful solution, but no, we went in with sword swinging. What was the point of all that? Now we're in even deeper trouble than before.
What are you stressing about, Saxi? They're all dead. We killed them all. Look. Plus, she threatened Lyla, and I wasn't going to stand for that. We did what we had to do. I don't see the problem.
For a start, do you really think that that was all of the Wood Elves? I mean, look at the size of this forest, man. I can almost guarantee you there's hundreds, no, thousands of them in here. And then that's just this forest. Think of all the other Wood Elves in Ouroros, in Mortal Azure. Look, Raarh, on a humane level, you and Tronald did the right thing. Honestly, you did. Protecting a little girl, you know? It's brave, heroic. I get that. I might come off as cold-hearted, always thinking about the grand plan rather than the individual pieces. So maybe I'm pissed off at myself. Maybe I'm pissed off at myself for being annoyed that you guys did what you did, because if it wasn't for you, Lyla would probably be with them right now. And I'm not sure how I feel about the fact that I would have let that happen. I wear this suit of cold steel armor. It's fitting, really. It matches my steel heart. I don't want to lose sight of the bigger picture. But I also don't want to lose what makes us the good guys. So yeah, maybe I'm just struggling with that balance right now.
Saxi, don't be so hard on yourself. You think about the bigger picture because someone has to. Your strategic mind is what keeps us from getting lost in the chaos. But that doesn't mean you don't have a heart. You showed compassion just by being here, fighting alongside us. We all add different things to the team.
Yeah, Saxi. You keep us grounded. Your steel heart. That's what helps us stay focused. But it doesn't mean you lack compassion. You're always the one making sure we stay on course. And that's a huge responsibility. If it weren't for your strategic mind, we wouldn't have made it this far. I can pretty much guarantee that.
Yeah, if we all had the exact same mindset, then that would be dangerous with the world how it is right now. We need different opinions on different matters to help figure out the best way forward.
Thanks, guys. I really needed to hear that. You're right, we all bring something unique to the table. I guess I just got lost in my own head for a bit, but now we need to focus. Let's go find Might and Lyla. We've got a mission to complete and people to protect.
So are you all heading back east to find Might and Lyla?
Yeah, but before we do, I'd like to loot Fairy. Them arrows were pretty cool, so it'd be neat if she had a few left. Not like any of us use arrows, but still.
Tronald, as you approach Fairy's lifeless form amidst the aftermath of the fierce battle, your eyes eventually land on the peculiar quiver strapped to Fairy's back. The quiver immediately catches your attention. Crafted from dark, weathered leather, it is lined with intricate ancient runes that swirl around its seams. The edges are reinforced with bands of a strange obsidian-like metal. Feathers, black as midnight, are interwoven into the leather, adding an air of mystique to the already intriguing item. With a steady hand, you reach down, your fingers brushing against the cool, smooth surface of the quiver. Carefully, you unfasten the straps, lifting the quiver from Fairy's back. As you hold it up, the quiver feels surprisingly light, yet you can sense a latent power within it.
Interesting. Well, I'll identify this before we sleep. Right, that's me done. Let's go and find them, guys.
All right, then. You all start heading east to find Mite and Lyla. Bryn walks beside you, his face pale from the shock of the recent battle and the narrow escape from death. The silence between you is heavy, each step echoing the gravity of the events that transpired. As you make your way through the forest, you pass the crushed flower, its light completely faded. Eventually, you arrive back at the spot where your tiny tower once stood, Tronald. The familiar area now feels strangely empty, and just like the tower, Mite and Lyla are nowhere to be seen.
Huh? Where the hell are they?
Don't worry. I told Mite to turn himself and Lyla invisible until they spot us, so they will be about.
Joe, I dropped the invisibility spell and approach everyone.
Oh, there he is. Hey, Mite.
Hey guys, how did everything go? We were worried when we didn't see you for a while. Is everyone all right? And what happened to Fairy?
Fairy is dead. I was about to explain how I split her in two, but then spot Lyla and decide to hold back on the gory details. I stopped her. We stopped her.
As soon as Lyla appears, Bryn's eyes widen with relief. Without a moment's hesitation, he rushes forward, pulling Lyla into a massive hug.
Lyla! Oh, thank the gods, you're safe! Why did you run off like that? You had me terrified. Anything could have happened to you out here. I was so worried, but I'm so glad you're safe. Don't ever do that again, you hear me?
Lyla clings tightly to her father, tears streaming down her cheeks. Her small frame trembles slightly as she buries her face in Bryn's shoulder, feeling the warmth and safety of his embrace.
I'm sorry, Dad. It's just I was so happy with what Mr. Raarh and Miss Celestia did, and what they said they would do for me. I wanted to thank them with something. I wanted to find a pretty flower and give it to them.
Wow, that's really sweet.
Bryn, still holding Lyla, looks around at the group with a soft smile.
She has a big heart, even in times like these.
Lyla, that was very brave of you. But next time, stay close to us, all right? We can't protect you if we can't see you.
Lyla nods, wiping her tears.
I will, I promise.
The thought means a lot to us, Lyla. Thank you, but your safety is the best gift you can give. That is, after all, the entire thing we're trying to do here.
You did well, little one. I saw the flower you tried to pick. It was beautiful.
All right, let's get moving. We need to find a safe place to rest. Somewhere out of this forest will be a good place to start. The army has already passed us, so we should be safe to leave now.
You all begin your trek through the dense forest. It takes you around an hour or so to navigate through the winding paths and underbrush. Each step feels heavier than the last, exhaustion settling in your bones. The interrupted sleep and the toll of the intense battle weigh heavily on everyone. Your legs ache and your eyes grow heavy, but you press on, driven by the need to find a safe haven outside of what would now be classed as enemy territory. As you finally break through the last line of trees, the oppressive canopy gives way to the open sky. You step out onto the open plains, the vast expanse of grassland stretching out before you. The cool night breeze sweeps across the plains, a refreshing change from the stifling air of the forest. The sky above is a deep, star-studded black, with the moon casting a gentle silver glow over the landscape. You take a moment to catch your breath, feeling the weight of your weariness, but also a sense of relief. The forest is behind you.
All right, I'm going to whip out my tiny tower, Joe.
In the presence of Lyla? That's a little sus, dude.
That's not funny, Raarh. You know what I meant.
I'm not sure you can comment on anything, Raarh. You still have that god-awful necklace wrapped around your neck. I mean, what purpose does that even serve? Clearly it was just a front for your power, but that's been debunked. So why don't you just get rid of it, man? It's weird.
No, it holds sentimental value.
Sentimental value, huh? What, did you make a friend back in White Willow who taught you how to string together something that hideous? Was there a touching moment over arts and crafts we missed?
Actually, yes. His name was Grendel. We bonded over a mutual appreciation for unique accessories.
Grendel, huh? Was he as fashionably challenged as you?
Or did he just lose a bet?
Laugh all you want. Grendel was an artist in his own right. This necklace is a symbol of our shared anesthetic vision.
Aesthetic vision, Raarh. Aesthetic vision.
Right, because nothing says shared vision like wearing something that looks like a cursed artifact.
I think it's kind of sweet. Weird, but sweet.
Sweet really isn't the word I'd use, but if it keeps you happy, Raarh.
It does, and it keeps Grendel's spirit alive.
Okay, guys. Tronald steps forward, raising his hand and uttering the incantation. The air shimmers as the tiny tower materializes before you, sturdy and inviting. The door swings open, and you all gratefully step inside, the familiar warmth and safety of the tower wrapping around you. Exhausted from the day's events, you each find a place to rest, eager to complete your interrupted sleep. The tower stands strong against the night, a sanctuary amidst the open plains. So you are all fully rested. What would you like to do?
I'd like to begin preparing for my lesser restoration spell, Joe. I gather some incense, a small candle, and a piece of silk, then set them up carefully on the floor. After lighting the incense and candle, I ask Lyla to sit down in front of me.
Lyla moves hesitantly, but trustingly, stepping forward and sitting down in front of you, Celestia. Her small frame is silhouetted by the flickering candlelight, and the soft, fragrant smoke of the incense curls around her like a protective shroud. She looks up at you with wide, hopeful eyes, ready for whatever comes next. Celestia, you begin your incantation, feeling a warm surge of divine energy flow through you. Your hands glow softly as you place them gently on Lila's shoulders. The spell weaves its way through Lila's small body like a gentle but determined stream seeking out impurities. Give me a wisdom check to see how effectively you channel the magic.
That's a 17.
You channel your energy, feeling the divine power searching through Lila's body. You feel a slight resistance, a hint of the malign presence within. When it finds the cancer, it's like hitting a solid wall. The malignant cells resist, pushing back against the divine force. Roll a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage in an attempt to withstand the strain.
Okay, that's a 14, Joe.
The strain is significant, but you hold firm. You narrow your focus, directing more of your divine energy into the spell. The light around your hands brightens, the warmth intensifying as it flows into Lyla. The cancer is strong, a dark, stubborn presence deep within her. You channel your willpower, imagining the divine energy as a fierce, radiant army marching against a shadowy fortress. Give me a straight wisdom check in an attempt to intensify the spell.
This is intense as fuck.
Shh. Raarh, don't distract her.
Nice, that's a 22.
The divine energy surges forward, breaking through the cancer's defenses, the light smothering the darkness, consuming it. There's a moment of intense resistance, a final, desperate push from the malignant cells. But your divine energy is relentless. It presses in, surrounding and attacking the cancer from all sides. Give me an Arcana check. This is to see how well you can maintain and direct the energy.
Fuck, that's a 3 total.
I give you my portent 15.
Thanks, man. So that's a 17, Joe.
Your control over the spell is unwavering. The divine energy, fueled by your determination and unwavering faith, surges into the malignant cells. The cancer fights back, a dark wave pushing against the light, but you are relentless. You force more energy into the spell, feeling the heat and light intensify. Give me a final wisdom check as you attempt to push the divine light into Lyla with all your might.
Blast that cancer out of sight. Show your strength. Unleash your might.
What?
I give Celestia a bardic inspiration.
Oh, cool.
That's a 10. Plus, Might's inspiration. That's a 15.
I give you a flash of genius as well for a 19.
Damn. Awesome, man.
All right, in a climactic surge, the light overwhelms the darkness. The cancer shudders and then crumbles, the sinister cells disintegrating under the relentless assault of divine energy. You feel the last remnants of the sickness dissolve, replaced by a sense of purity and healing. You release the spell, the glow around your hands fading. Exhausted but triumphant, you look down at Lyla. The battle within her small body is over, the cancer defeated.
Nice work, Celestia. You really pulled through there.
Thanks, man. I knew it was going to be tough, but that felt like it could have failed at any moment. You all helped massively. I wouldn't have managed without you.
Bryn stands a few paces away, watching with awe. His eyes glisten with unshed tears, and his hands tremble slightly as he takes in the sight of his daughter, now free from the deadly ailment. He takes a deep, shaky breath, his emotions threatening to overwhelm him.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for saving my little girl. I don't know how I can ever repay you. You've given us a miracle, something I feared we'd never see. I owe you more than words can express.
You want to know how you can repay us? You can repay us by making sure she never has to want for anything again. You give her the life she deserves, filled with love, safety, and every opportunity to grow into the incredible person she's meant to be. Joe, I reach into my pouch and give 200 platinum pieces to Bryn.
Holy fuck.
Bryn's eyes widen in shock as you reach into your pouch and hand over the 200 platinum pieces. The gleaming coins spill into Bryn's hands, their weight and brilliance almost surreal. He's never even seen one platinum piece before in his life, let alone held so many. His mouth falls open, and he stares at the fortune in his grasp, scarcely able to believe what he's seeing. His hands tremble and his breath catches in his throat. Overwhelmed by the magnitude of your generosity and the sheer value of the gift, Bryn's eyes fill with tears.
And I have one more condition. When she's bigger, when she's stronger, you send her my way. Then I will train her. She will become a force so powerful that nothing will ever dare lay a finger on her again. She will stand tall, a beacon of strength and resilience, a warrior of unmatched skill and unwavering courage. This is my promise to you and to her. She will be unstoppable.
Bryn seems a little caught off guard and concerned with the idea of his little girl becoming a warrior. The thought of Lyla in battle, facing danger, makes his heart clench with worry. But then he looks down at Lyla and sees her eyes beaming, filled with determination. She's glaring at you, Raarh, with her little fists clenched, a fierce resolve radiating from her. In that moment, Bryn understands that this is what she wants, what her goal has become. The realization hits him with a mixture of pride and trepidation. Who is he to stand in the way of her destiny? He smiles and looks back at you.
I promise.
That was a lot of money, Raarh. You did a good thing.
Thanks, Tronald.
All right, Joe. I want to sit down and cast Identify as a ritual on this quiver. Time to see what secrets it's hiding.
The ritual takes 10 minutes. The quiver begins to glow faintly, resonating with the magic of the Identify spell. Tronald's mind reaches out, connecting with the essence of the item, unraveling its secrets. As the spell completes, the quiver reveals its nature to you, Tronald. This finely crafted quiver, known as the Quiver of the Night Stalker, is imbued with powerful magic, allowing the transformation of normal arrows into various types of magical ones, up to a maximum of 15 each day, each with unique effects. The quiver has a daily transformation limit of 15 charges, and the types of arrows it can produce are as follows. There are arrows that cost 1 charge per transformation, and they are Arrow of Moonlit Wrath. These arrows deal extra damage to lycanthropes and undead, burning with a silver blue flame. Burning Arrow. These arrows ignite on impact, causing immediate and ongoing fire damage to the target. Acid Arrow. These arrows release a burst of corrosive acid upon striking, dealing damage over time and reducing the target's armor effectiveness. For 2 charges per transformation, Arrow of Phantom Strike. These arrows phase through armor, ignoring physical defenses and dealing direct damage. Poison Arrow. These arrows inject a potent toxin into the target, causing poison damage and weakening their strength, giving disadvantage on all physical-based saves. Shadow Arrow. These arrows smother the target in shadow upon impact, potentially blinding them temporarily. Then, these are the 2 more powerful arrows. Arrow of Thunderclap. For 3 charges per transformation, these arrows create a thunderous boom on impact, knocking back the target. Arrow of Teleportation, the most powerful, costing 5 charges per transformation. These arrows will instantly teleport the shooter to the location where the arrow lands, allowing for rapid repositioning.
This quiver is actually really neat. Does anyone here use arrows or want to use them? I guess you could, Saxy. You'd probably get the highest action efficiency from them.
Sure. I'd be more than happy to take that. I kind of want to have a play around with it as well. Joe, if me and Tronald were to work on this, is there a chance that we could alter the enchantment slightly so it could store bullets instead of arrows?
What do you think?
Well, it was a long shot anyway.
What are you talking about, dude? Of course you can modify enchantments. You're asking me if a wizard and an artificer, 2 of the most magically interesting and customizable classes in the game, have the ability to modify an enchantment? Absolutely yes. I love the idea of you guys getting your groove on and coming up with really cool shit. Like anything, though, it would have a material cost. Less of a time cost, though. I've always hated that rule, unless you were looking to create something of immense proportions.
Awesome. Well, it doesn't have to be now. It's more for if we ever have any downtime later on.
We can't be far away from Waterdeep now, surely. Shall we just get moving?
Yeah, let's get a move on. We need to cover as much ground as possible. As we're walking, I want to keep an eye out for anything strange, Joe. Whether that's armies, dragons, members of the Obetus, or wood elves coming from their forest. We've had enough surprises on this journey already, and I'd rather not add any more to the list.
As you're walking, the hours pass with nothing but the sounds of your own footsteps, the whisper of the wind through the trees, and conversations between you all. For the first 5 hours, the landscape is quiet. but then, gradually, signs of life begin to appear. You see a couple of people up ahead busy harvesting plants and chopping trees. Their rhythmic movements and the sounds of axes and scythes fill the air. As you continue, the scenery changes subtly. More people come into view. Farmers tending to their fields, merchants pushing carts laden with goods, children playing near small rustic houses. Then around the 9-hour mark, something shifts. A new scent wafts through the air, one that's unmistakable and invigorating. It's the salty tang of the sea, mixed with the faint smell of fish and brine. The aroma grows stronger with each step, filling your nostrils and awakening your senses. The distant cry of seagulls adds to the anticipation, mingling with the faint toll of bells, likely from a harbor. Your pace quickens as you round a final bend, and there it is, Waterdeep in all its glory.
Well, we're back, guys.
Yep. Let's try not to get arrested or draw any suspicion. And Raarh, don't be biting any guards' peepees off.
Sir, yes, sir.
Feels weird being back here, and it hasn't even been that long for me. You know, with my little death vacation.
I've never actually been here before. It's probably the furthest southeast I've ever been.
Oh, well, strap yourself in, because no doubt you'll have a fan-fucking-tastic time.
All right, Raarh, it's time for us to disguise ourselves up, buddy.
Yes, Chicken Brothers time.
I'm going to need both of you to make sleight of hand checks to see how well you can pull the disguise off without a disguise kit.
I'm going to help them with this, Joe.
Okay, cool. So make it with advantage.
That's a tainted 20 for me, Joe.
And a 14 for me.
Tronald and Raarh, in an attempt to mask yourselves from prying eyes, you decide to disguise yourselves as trappers. You gather a handful of chicken feather from Gertrude, weaving them into your robes. Saxy pulls out a spare robe from his bag of holding, a simple but effective garment that should help complete the illusion. You work meticulously, attaching the feathers with precision. Your disguise comes together seamlessly, each feather placed with care, creating a convincing look of a seasoned trapper. Raarh, on the other hand, is having a bit more trouble. As Saxy drapes the spare robe over him, it becomes clear that Raarh's size and the robe's cut aren't a perfect match. The robe stretches awkwardly across his broad shoulders, and the feathers he attempts to attach seem to have a mind of their own. Some stick out at odd angles, while others fall off almost immediately, leaving gaps in his disguise. Despite his best efforts, Raarh's appearance is a bit patchy, to say the least. The feathers on his right side are sparse and uneven, creating a lopsided look. One particularly stubborn feather keeps tickling his nose, making him sneeze, which only dislodges more feathers. The overall effect is a comical mix of fierce warrior and bedraggled bird, the mismatched elements coming together in a way that's more ridiculous than intimidating.
It's perfect.
Well, I'm glad you think so, because I think it looks like shit.
Jealousy doesn't suit you, Saxy.
Jealous? Of what? A feather duster gone rogue?
Better a rogue feather duster than whatever the fuck you're dressed as.
Oh yeah, I forgot. The walking chicken coop is an expert in comedy as well as fashion.
Hey, at least I'm not the one who looks like a failed magic trick.
Please, you look like you got into a fight with a pillow and lost.
And you look like you raided a bargain bin at a crusty wizard's yard sale.
Your entire persona screams midlife crisis at a petting zoo.
Better a petting zoo than whatever dirty-ass alley you crawled out of.
I missed you guys.
Oh yeah, it's funny watching them go at it like a married couple.
I swear there's some magical aura around Waterdeep that just makes us fire shots at each other. Anyway, now that we both look fabulous, let's make our way to the front gate.
As you all begin to walk toward Waterdeep's front gate, you can't help but notice the curious and amused stares from the townsfolk. People glance at you funny, their eyes lingering a bit longer than usual. The odd combination of your disguises and the feather-covered robes of Raarh, at least, certainly seem to be making you stand out.
What the fuck are they looking at?
Watch your language around Lyla, man.
A group of small children giggles as you pass by, pointing and whispering among themselves. Lyla, the fierce little defender, scowls at them, her tiny fists clenched. Her protective stance over Raarh earns a few raised eyebrows from passing adults, but she holds her ground, glaring at the laughing kids until they turn away.
Yep, she's destined to be a warrior.
As you approach the front gate, the guards stationed there turn to look at each other, then shake their heads, letting out small laughs. Their amusement is clear, but they remain professional, maintaining their post despite the unusual sight before them. Just as you're about to approach the guards and walk through the gates, something catches your eye. Hovering over the city center are 3 airships, one huge and 2 smaller ones. The massive airship looms ominously in the sky, casting a shadow over the city. This certainly wasn't here when you last left Waterdeep. The sight of the airships brings a sudden seriousness to the moment. Whatever their purpose, the presence of these airborne vessels confirms that something significant is happening in Waterdeep.
Oh, great.
Damn, I've never seen one of those before. Can we ride one?
Well, you're certainly with the right group to somehow end up on that thing.
And that's where we're going to wrap up this session. See you later, guys.